Hey there, welcome to this edition of Fund Finance Friday Industry Conversations. I'm pleased to be here with my good friend Rory Smith, who's the head of Brickfield Fund Finance Recruitment. And we're getting ready to launch a new bankers compensation report. And so sitting down with Rory to talk about that. Rory, how are you doing?
Thanks, Wes. Good to be here. No, very good. Thank you. It's been a phenomenal summer. Very nice. And as everyone's sort of said, it's been a good break for a lot of people. And now we're sort of back into it again. But it's been a busy summer with this report going on in the background, putting together all the information, working with our sponsors on this as well. So it's been a different summer than last year is probably a good way to put it with this new initiative.
Yeah, excellent. And I'm sure this has been quite a process. Do you mind just taking a minute to kind of talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this report itself is we're quite proud of what we've been able to achieve. We anticipate, or what we understand is that we've covered about 70% of the lender market within this report to use for the data to get our figures and stats from, and that's from also new entrants that have entered the market as well as established lenders as well. So we've been doing that in the background. We've been building up that information, and also, as you'd imagine, with our work that we do within this industry, we've also got our own database and system within about compensation as well. So we've been able to pull it all together to get some really good numbers on that. So what we've been doing is building that out. Then we've been working with our sponsors in relation to building the report out. And now we're at that stage of pulling it all together, which is ultimately finalized pretty much today. And we're looking forward to launching this in the next couple of weeks.
That's excellent. Any preview to trends that you've spotted already, if you don't mind sharing ahead of the launch?
Yeah, absolutely. So this year we've seen, one of the trends that are new for 2022 is the work from home policy. That was one that was on the tip of everyone's tongue during the year. Everyone was addressing what is the new norm, what should I be asking for, what should I be expecting when I'm moving, or whatever that may be. Even clients and candidates were asking the same thing. So that's something new in this policy. We tackled that question and we've found that answer out. So that's something to look forward to, which is going to help a lot of those people that have high aspirations about sort of working from home for the long term, and how normal that is within the market. There are opportunities out there, but far and in between. We've also, in this report, which is different from 2019, is the demand for associates and VPs was really the focus point in the banking sector here, helping with building the teams coming out of the pandemic, the amount of workflow that was coming in. So of course, structuring execution and just hands-on individuals are really helpful in that spot. We've also seen a trend in 2022 from the private equity firms, which is new, is we're having a lot more demand and inquiries from private equity firms looking to hire fund finance talent into their treasury groups, let's say, to help to work with the growth that they're having in the fund with their fund finance facilities and manage those and oversee those as well. So that's a new trend that we're seeing, and of course, which puts more pressure on the talent within the market as well. So there's another sector looking for that same talent. As you'd expect, increased salaries across the board. So do expect to see that in the report. No surprise there. Then we've also got, as you'd know, the demand for talent in the legal sector is also there. So we've also touched on that as well in one of our articles in that space, and how we're going to solve, or how the industry is solving that problem. And then I think music to a lot of people's ears, because it's being talked about for a long time, is a NAV. We are actually starting to see the NAV growth from a human resource perspective come to the plate. We've had traditional lenders looking to implement Fund Finance 2.0, and of course have been asking for candidates with some NAV hybrid experience, so then they can implement that into their new strategy moving forward. Or we're also seeing the growth of the pure NAV focused organizations, providers that are now searching for that specific talent. Now, it's not an everyday request, but people are actually putting sort of pen to paper in what their requests are when it comes to NAV.
No, that's brilliant. And this is the second report you've put out, the first one being a couple of years ago before the pandemic. What should we look for that's going to be different about this version?
Yeah, exactly. So the reason we didn't put a report out in 2021 and 2020 and 2021, I think it was ultimately because there wasn't much going on. The hiring freeze during the pandemic, everyone sort of was just trying to keep still, whatever was going on. So we thought it wasn't time for the market. But as we got out of that, as we all know, wage increases, people moving around, it was time for us to do that report. And that's why we called on a lot of sponsors this time to help us out, to be able to give us that platform to extend the report rather than just being pure hard data and graphs focusing on the banking sector. So new this time around is you're going to get the graphs that we established in 2019, but with more commentary about those graphs, giving more insight into the industry and what we've been seeing firsthand and why these graphs reflect this pattern that we're seeing. We've also got an in-depth legal article as well that we've been able to team up, as you know, with a selected number of lawyers within the space to talk about the legal market, how they're finding the hiring in the space, what are they doing to relieve the pressure when it comes to new talent, and that's giving us a little bit of insight from the experts themselves, which we didn't have last year. We also got a banking piece as well, where we've reached out to the industry, got some commentary from people within the banking space to give us an overview of what they're seeing in the market from a talent perspective and also a product perspective as well. So that's something new to read as well. We've got a diversity article from the Women of Fund Finance, which is phenomenal, all the hard work that they're putting into, and also about the work that the WFF are doing, and also the diversity initiatives as well within the Fund Finance Association. So we've got a good piece on that. And then we've got some thought leadership articles from our sponsors that have been able to help us with the growth of this report and building it out. And that's giving us a little bit of insight into what they get up to, their strengths, what their hiring strategies like, how they're overcoming, or what are they applying to be different to their competitors within the space as well. So we're getting some good insight from real firms with real people doing real things.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. I mean, this is going to be a great thing for the market. You know, it's not just Brickfield pulling data and analyzing it and putting it out there. It's really getting all the input and then the color commentary from all these third parties that are leaders in the space, you know, whether it be banking or on the legal side. And you've got quite a few sponsors this year, right? Which is the new thing. So do you want to give a shout out to some of your sponsors?
Yeah, absolutely. We could shout out. So the ones coming off the top of the head, we've got Cadwalader, of course. We've got Hark, we've got Bridgebank, we've got Reed Smith, we've got Kerry Olsen, we've got Haynes and Boone. And I believe those are the top of the head for this at this point of time. What we've had to do is control those invitations as well in relation to not having too much of a sort of an article, a report that's gone a little bit off path. So we've got a really nice number of core sponsors, people whom we know that support the initiatives that we do, and also the market as well, and are supporting the sort of the hiring talent aspect as well within the market. Also, take a shout out to Tritium Media. I don't know if anyone's familiar with them. I've been working with them and building this out as well. And they've been a phenomenal resource and really tuned into what we're doing, understanding the market, and bringing together some phenomenal ideas and how we can better the report each time and every time. So they've been a great partner with us, and without them, it would be a whole different story.
Yeah, well, look, we're certainly pleased at Cadwalader to be a lead sponsor on this, and look forward to getting a copy of the report. Just so everyone knows, when and where can I get my hands on it? Absolutely.
So we're hoping within the next couple of weeks, we're going to make it live. The idea is before the end of September. So that's the focal point. It's going to be available free to download on the Brickfield website. Again, that's thanks to our sponsors. 2019, we had to, of course, do it in a different way, but this time we're going to make it readily available to everyone in the marketplace, and they can download that. And we're looking forward to having printed copies at the FFA conference in Miami to distribute out to first come, first serve audience, which of course at that point of time we'll be able to give it out to our sponsors as well to use how they wish to use that for whatever cause they may want.
Hey, quarter end reporting, you know, bankers love that. So that's impeccable timing. And we certainly look forward to seeing this year's copy. It's the 2022 Brickfield Bankers Compensation Report. And I'm talking with Rory Smith. It's been a pleasure, Rory, to sit down with you again, and look forward to reading through the trends and all the data you've got. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Wes. Always a pleasure.